Hey guys, welcome back to the combo video where I get to show you the combo that works with this Dark Magician deck. Now, I will say, getting Keeper of Dragon Magic, using him, discarding a Dark Magician or a Dark Magician Girl to get to your instant fusion. This right here is an instant Dragoon, because when you do that and you go into your normal summon your Dragoon, or you normal summon your Keeper of Dragon Magic, and here we'll just draw one card. Oh my goodness, that is a good draw. So when you summon him, you can pitch your Dark Magician, right, in order to go into your instant fusion from the deck. You pay 1,000 life points in order to then go into Winda. Once you're into Winda, you then can link off into Predaplant Verde Anaconda, and then you're going to spend even more life points. That's the one thing about this deck. To go into your Red Eyes Fusion in order to send Red Eyes Black Dragon and Dark Magician to bring out Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. And now you've got a great negate board going, and that is the combo in order to start with. Now, if you do have an extender, like that was a great draw, Monster Reborn, you can actually play Monster Reborn to bring back your Winda, and now you really have locked your opponent out. Of course, you don't always get the Monster Reborn. So let's say we don't have the Monster Reborn, and we'll go ahead and put that on the bottom of our deck. And so now we've just got the Dark Magician Girl. So if we draw, we can go into Magician's left hand, and now, ouch. Because we have a spellcaster, literally, they can't do any traps. We can negate pretty much anything else, and we can still use this. Now, with him, when we do eventually get a spellcaster, any one spellcaster. So let's go ahead and fish for one. So if we get our spellcaster, we can actually link 3 into Celine. And at this point, we do actually on our own have three spells activated. So we can activate Celine to bring back Winda. That's the combo. So by turn 2, you should hopefully have Winda, Dragoon, and Celine. But what we're going to do now, since that's all theory and that's all well and good, we're actually going to do several hand tests. But that's how you establish your board quickly, and you actually do have the cards to do it in this deck. Let's do a good hard shuffle. Now this deck, honestly, you're gonna want to go first. Sometimes you can go second and break your opponent's board, but depending on what you're dueling, going second isn't always the greatest idea. Alright, so here we are. We have our 5 cards. Let's see what they are. Okay. So from here, we actually have a really good hand. Dark Magician Girl, Monster Reborn, Chocolate Magician Girl. We can use Magician's Souls, Magician's Navigation. So the way I would play this hand, because remember, my first thing to do that I want to do is I want to go into Dragoon. And that's actually really easy to do with this hand. So first things first, we're going to activate Magician's Souls. And what that's going to do is it's going to send Dark Magician Girl, or Dark Magician. We're going to say Dark Magician since we have 1 Dark Magician Girl in our hand. And we have 3 Dark Magicians in the deck. Let's do that. So Dark Magician. It's going to send Dark Magician to the graveyard. And when it sends Dark Magician to the graveyard, we can then go ahead and discard souls in order to special summon our Dark Magician. Now, we haven't normal summoned yet, which is fantastic. So, the way I would play this hand, if I were being honest, is I would play Chocolate Magician Girl, and then I would discard Dark Magician Girl in order to draw. Ooh, that's fantastic. Look at that. So this is going very well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to link 2 into Predaplant Verde Anaconda, spend the 2,000 life points in order to send Red Eyes Fusion, Dark Magician, and Red Eyes Black Dragon from the deck to the graveyard to go into Dragoon. Now, I like to put him over here in the far end so that I don't mess up my link potential. Now, we have a lot we can do. Check this out. So, we're going to say it's our opponent's turn. We've passed turn, their first turn. First activate your Magician's left hand so that they can't activate traps. So from here, we can pitch the Magician's Navigation, and that becomes a negate, a spell and trap negate for us on our next turn. So from here, hopefully our board stays intact. We might lose the Predaplant, we might even lose Dragoon. There's a possibility, but if we hit them with that negate correctly, depending on what we're dueling against, that'll be good for us. So Dark Magician is our next draw. So if Predaplant Verde Anaconda is still here, what we can do is actually use his ability to send Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion. Oh, hey, look at that. Boom. To activate it, to grab out Winda. Now, that's not really our, the best way to get out Winda, but it'll work for now. Now, at the end of the turn, she'll be destroyed. We'll still have negates in our hand. Dark Magician would be a great negate. So let's say we do have to negate. Okay, cool. Draw, look at this. Magician's Rod to go into, from here, I would go into Dark Magical Circle. Like I always tell my wife, if anything, go into Dark Magical Circle. Unless you can go into Eternal Soul and really make your opponent's life absolutely terrible. But doesn't always happen that way. So from here, Dark Magical Circle, in order to search the top 3. Unfortunately, none of these are going to come to our hand, but we can put her on top, leave Eye of Timaeus second, and then Magical Eyes Fusion third. From here, you can link into Selene, Queen of the Master Magicians. Now, we have 4 counters on Selene currently because we've used Instant Fusion, we've used Red Eyes Fusion, and we have Magician's Left Hand and Dark Magical Circle on the field. So we can actually bring back our El Shaddai Winda. Then, as our last special summon, we can bring back Dark Magician and use it as a disruption to banish. It took us a little bit to get to this board. However, we were able to negate along the way in order to keep Winda safe. Now, could we have used Monster Reborn a lot earlier to get back Winda? Absolutely, and it really depends on what you're dueling against. So our next card from here, now that we have an established board, would be the Apprentice Illusion Magician, which will help us out by using as a hand trap for any of these. So let's go ahead and shuffle up again, because this deck is really good at getting Dragoon out first. And I did kind of design it to do that in order to have the boss monster out immediately to help make and break boards. So now let's say this is our unfavorable situation. Let's say we're going first. And let's say they have at least 2 negates on board. This is where this deck actually kind of suffers a little bit. Which is why going first is the thing that we really want to do. So, our opening draw is going to be actually quite good. So we might be able to defend ourselves against one thing. And I already see what we can use. So I said that we were going to go second, Magician's Rod. Okay, so we have a ton of options. We can go for a draw. We can go for a search. We can go for a search. Or so the way I would play this, immediately thinking, is go into Dragoon. And you're sitting there thinking, but how? And this is where I say, Keeper of Dragon Magic. And we're going to pitch, at this point, I would say, pitch Chocolate Magician Girl. No. Pitch the Rod. It's hard to say in that situation. It depends on what you're dueling against. So if they try to ash us, we can call by. And that's what we're going to do, because we're pretending. We're going to grab Instant Fusion. Ash is once per turn. If they droll and lock us, that's a different story. Let it happen, because then they might also have Ash. But if you're playing Ash and Droll, you're the one duelist I don't want to play against. So from here with Instant Fusion, this is kind of the combo right here. So we're going to play Instant Fusion, pay 1,000, right? And then that's going to get us our Winda. Now from here, we can special summon once. And that's where we're going to go ahead and link off Winda and Keeper for Predaplant Verde Anaconda. From there, I know it's a lot of life points. We're spending 3,000 life points. We're going to go ahead and send Red Eyes Fusion with Dark Magician and Red Eyes. Where are you, Red Eyes Black Dragon? Red Eyes, where are you? Uh-oh. Oh, there he is. Red Eyes Black Dragon. We're going to send them to the graveyard. Go into Dragoon. And then we have negates that we're actually going to onboard. Because now we can attack, right? So, on their turn, it's the unfortunate thing, but we're going to spend 1,500 to stop them from doing things. We're going to try to keep our Chocolate Magician Girl in our hand because we want to link up in order to go into. So, what we're going to do, we drew Dark Magical Circle. So let's play it, search the top 3 cards. Oops. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to bring Magician Navigation to our hand so that we have something to negate with. So from here, we can then play Chocolate Magician Girl. We have 3 spells, 1 active, 2 in the grave. Link. Into Celine. Then, with the 3 counters, we're going to bring back Winda, locking our opponent out. They're going to have to attempt to attack over Winda, and we have a negate in hand. So from here, we're sitting pretty. So, we can't use this on this turn because we went into Winda. But if we wait to go into Winda, let's say we wait and we don't spend the points, right? We can go into battle phase. We can play Magician's Circle. Then from here, we can go into a lot of things, depending on what we're doing, depending on what we've drawn. So we're going to go into our illusion, which allows us to grab a Dark Magician to our hand, right? And because of that, and we were able to summon the illusion, we can then go ahead and use her during damage calculation, because this is at the declaration of the battle step. When a spellcaster type monster declares an attack. So, from there, then we can use her effect to bring out Winda, which makes them essentially stop for a turn. So when they do whatever on their turn, we can use Magician's Navigation to negate it. Dragoon negates, gains 1,000. We draw a Dark Magician. At that point, it's game. So, yes, the deck does one thing, and it's actually very good at stopping your opponent from doing quite a bit of things. But with a lot of creativity, you can bait negates, you can stop your opponent from actually creating plays against you, and then you can go in for that either OTK or TTK. In this case, it really depends on what you're playing, what you're doing, and what you're trying to accomplish. Because sometimes Winda isn't necessary, whereas other times Winda is absolutely your saving grace. But play with the deck, experiment with it, and let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Follow me on TikTok for more deck ideas. Also, Zach is going to be back next week with an awesome deck profile that I want all of you to really look at. Thank you again.